only being $100 and for my phone,
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, they get up there.
It's much better than me, holding my tiny little phone. So
yeah, I finally got just this to keep it steady at least.
Yeah, and I use it to live stream, so I'd rather it not be all shaky,
Yeah, whenever I live stream, it sucks. It just gets all gargly. It's a sprint or whatever. I don't know. I had to downgrade my resolution.
Yeah, I use Streamlabs. It works pretty good. It only lets you stream for a little bit amount of time, but they've got the thing, if you pay a little bit, you'll be able to stream as much as you want. It works pretty well. It doesn't ever drop the connection, really. I mean, it's buggy like everything, but...
Yeah, I tried Periscope, but that just...
Yeah. Yeah, so we do Streamlabs, and it streams too. Yeah, so I've got it. Wow.
I got fucking liquids or shit and it's all crap. It's like you hear the people screaming. I just stood there and I let everybody run at me and I was like 20 people deep, so I was getting shit hit at, they were hitting me with their fucking pepper balls. But I went a week later and I picked up all the shrapnel I could find. I got the grenade handles, those black balls, they're called
not the pepper balls or something different. The metal ones, the big ones?
Yeah, the black ones. They explode and 150 impregnated round balls shoot out 50 feet. They hit 50 feet.
I have no idea.
And the chemicals in the explosive chemicals that make the cloud.
Yeah.
That's all cancer causing.
Yeah, so they're military grade. So when I was in the Mesa the day before, and I got tear gas from the Mesa, but it wasn't as strong as the stuff they used the next day. That the SE-15
stinger balls.
I had no idea.
And I got the company to meet them. I got all the fucking sales brochures. Put up repositories and I share everything nice and free.
Yeah, so send it to the Activated Podcast.
Okay, and I'm, what's your name?
Clint. My name is
Jerry. Yeah, I just launched a website called racepolice.com and I'm going to put shit like this up there. And other shit that I'm finding that retired cops are coming up and telling the story of how shit really works inside. So I'm putting all that up there so people can hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we say.
Yeah, we've been doing a podcast for years now, and just now we're really starting to covering all this stuff.
Yeah, good. Well,
yeah, we've got stuff on our Instagram. We don't have Twitter, but
I quit Instagram because I can't stand my Twitter.
Yeah.
These are the balls. There's 150. That's how big they're. 32. They're like 32. What do you call them? Double shotgun shells. They're 32 caliber. So it's 8 millimeters. 150 of them. And when they're throwing like 6 of them in the ground at the same time,
got a lot. So did you see that in Seattle they flashbanged a woman just standing there right in the chest on purpose?
It's all the grenade pins and I got picked up the that big march for 4 hours that day on Broadway. And then as soon as the cops came rushing down with their sirens and everything, when I came over there, I was just mocking them all. I was just flat out mocking them, saying, what the fuck are you guys doing here? This is nothing happening. And then when they started shooting, I just stayed back.
Yeah, they're...
I'd rather not be targeted, because they were clearly targeting people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 700 pictures, and I got 100 of them with them to the SWAT guy just staring me down. I just have a mouth. I'm not going to shut up.
Yeah, when we were getting pedaled through, they broke us off at the end, and they were just shooting at everybody. No, in downtown.
Okay,
But
yeah,
in La Mesa, they were up at the top, so they had 2 levels. And at the second level, there were, snipers or whatever they want to call them, purposely shooting cars and people walking on the sidewalk.
They're also spotting people.
Yeah.
They were telling them where to go.
It was, and all they cared about was protecting the police. So they purposely pushed everybody away, and that's when they started looting the cars.
Man, I went to that.
They purposely pushed people away from the police department.
Because I went to that land building. That's such a beautiful building.
It is.
I've never been inside of it, but it's an historic building.
Yeah.
I saw the guys throwing it in there on Twitter or on Periscope, which they were the ones starting the original fire.
Yeah, I was pissed because I didn't have my stream all the way set up for La Mesa, and we were there when we saw them break into the chase and start burning the chase on fire. And the Union Building. It was too much at that point. And we were just standing back because that's all I knew it was going to be crazy like that day. And as soon as I got there on the highway, it was just wild. It was wild. Yeah.
Because I didn't sense that at all, or I'd have been down there for sure. I just like to film shit.
Well, I knew because I had been watching all the live streams of in Minneapolis, and so it felt like the timing was everywhere was going to go crazy. I mean, I was watching at the same time Atlanta. They were breaking into the CNN building where they got the police.
Well, it's the police headquarters.
Yeah.
It's not CNN, or it's the police.
They put the police headquarters in that building.
Yeah. So people were thinking,
oh, it's CNN, but no.
It's actually kind of fucked up because the media wasn't saying that it was CNN, or it was the police, not around anymore. I forgot your name already.
Quinn.
Quinn Jerry. Good to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, but they ever since that weekend they calmed down a lot. So.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
Especially because we freaking filmed it. If we weren't filming it.
Yeah. Everywhere, every city across the country, every single city.
Yeah. Atlanta's still going crazy.
Well, but they're dealing with the Rayshard Brooks stuff. It's wild that, in Gardena, the LA Sheriff's Department just killed an 18-year-old kid the other day working as a security guard. He was on the job, and they shot and killed him.
It's just clear what's going on.
Well, they don't care. They think they're going to be protected.
Yeah. They don't know what we're about, I guess.
Well, I mean,
We'll figure it out.
all the city councils, I know the city council here, they didn't, reject the budget, but I know a lot of them were pretty pissed off and telling SDPD to back off.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason they backed off. That and the mayor wants to be secretary, he wants to be governor in 2022, which he'll never be.
He won't. Newsom's doing, I think Newsom's doing too good right now.
That was a good deal.
Unless he runs for president, which I could see him trying, but
I hope he doesn't, because
I hope he doesn't.
We need people that know, international global affairs and all that.
Especially because California is basically its own economy.
Yeah, we're the biggest. I looked it up. Somebody was saying it was we're the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yep. Julian. Since Britain did Brexit, we overtook them. So it's been.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
right. Okay. Because because I looked at the recent ones because we were 7 or 8.
We were 7 or 8 for a while, yes.
Good, how are
I'm
you?
peeved about I got to order some batteries. I was going to buy them locally, but they're twice as much as on Amazon.
That's
They're like
crazy.
$60. And then I went and bought a really beautiful battery pack and shit, and I plugged it in and it won't
work.
film or charge it.
That sucks.
It kind of sucks. They want you to buy their batteries.
Yeah. Yeah, my Canon, I just bought another battery and just said I bought the Canon battery because all the other batteries, they'll die fast, you know, the off-market ones or something.
Yeah, that's probably why they're half price.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of skaters.
They're supposed to come this way, right?
Yeah, they're going to go downtown to the Embarcadero. So when they go down this way,
I think there will be multiple protests end up coming here. I don't know though.
can I see your shirt? You say legal advisors.
Yeah,
Illegal
observer, yeah.
I was surprised about that, all the different medics, just the people that are coming up with water. I was asking them all, who funded all that shit, and they're all saying they did it
Themselves, yeah. Yeah, everybody's donating stuff in a lot of the protests. I was here yesterday and there were free snacks for everybody. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's something I've never seen that before. I grew up in Ann Arbor. Seen a lot of shit that's a lot of people that are pretty.
You know what's crazy is it's in every city too. Every city they're crowdsourcing donations and giving out water, and it's all.
Yeah,
It's
that's a scary sign for the
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Because a self-feeding machine doesn't die easily.
Well, the news is tearing into Seattle with the Chaz in the autonomous zone. Have you seen that stuff? So the police left like their east precinct because Seattle kept provoking the protesters, and so the protesters took over a few blocks. It's like an occupied protest, and so the media has been making up a bunch of stuff about them, but they've been crowdsourcing through donations and feeding everybody who's there, and it's been going on for the last few weeks, all sustained from the people who are going there.
Yeah, politically, I mean, I grew up, I was a kid in the 60s, but, I've seen so much, and this is just so different. 'Cause back then, it was all pretty much the hippies and the young people, and people doing drugs and shit. Most of these people ain't even touching drugs,
No.
They're just straight kids,
Well, I'm an engineer, so yeah. I mean, that's what I do during the day.
There were engineers there doing it, but they were doing drugs.
Yeah.
The hippie, in the 70s.
Well, I think right now too is it's just so built up, and there's other things like people are out of work, people have already been fired up, the political climate, it's.
Yeah, the political is crazy.
And so I don't think these are gonna stop. I think they're gonna go through the election at least.
I hope so. There's gotta be, because I've done a bunch of shit with the budget and shit. I knew that wasn't gonna, not a dollar was gonna change, because that shit's decided in October.
Oh yeah,
December.
yeah.
People should know that the budget gets largely built. The council members send their priority letters in November, and that's what the mayor uses to negotiate what they get, because they have $2 million each, and they get to give it away to anybody they want in their district. But if you don't play ball, then the mayor can cut your $2 million off, and that cuts off all your constituents' funding, and that just really hurts.
Well, there's the Gomez-Sarah Jacobs race is going to be one of the most interesting House races in the whole country.
Is she running against Gomez? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was wondering why Lorena Gonzalez is kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Because she probably supports me.
And it's just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And it's the first time both Democrats are going up against each other in that position forever. So
Darrell Issa is the guy to fear. He was the wealthiest man in Congress when he got beat. And Mike Levin was the wealthiest guy in Congress, right? And now that Hunter did his thing, he's going back to the prices. And I really like that. I've been looking all over for it, but there was an interview of Issa on camera where he was making all the threats Trump was about there was going to be hell to pay if he didn't get elected and all that. Their whole conspiracy theory right before the election, they were pretty much expecting to lose, so they were using that fear-mongering to get people to vote. And man, Issa's doing the same thing. I was trying so hard. I'm a good researcher, but I can't find that.
it must have scrapped it. Yeah.
But I was trying to get that out for his opponent to use and say, no, this is what the guy's like. And then he had a big constituent thing before the election, and he went up on his roof. And all the constituents were down on the ground that want to talk to him. And he said, he stood up on the roof of his like office complex building. Just looked at the lady and talked to him.
It's wild.
It's kind of a, well, he's not kind of, he's extreme.
Right. I guess. I mean, what sucks is that there's really no one in here. So share this thing. I don't know what's going on. Why you can't find it. I guess people don't care anymore, man. My guy's flag is hilarious. I'm over here because my guy's flag is so funny. So go ahead and share this, baby, because we here. My leg be hurting. Okay, bet. Well, we here, ladies and gentlemen. What's on the schedule? Okay, so what's on the schedule is this. I don't know what we're doing, but we're sitting right now. So we're hanging out. It's supposed to be, I don't know if we're gonna march. There's a lot of people here. I think the organizer is late. But there's a good amount of people here. And then at 5, we are gonna go to the waterfront park and march from there, actually back up to here. So we got the donation. This is my favorite right here. This is my guy. This is my guy, just absolutely tuck from. I don't know what this guy tuck from. I don't know what that is, but my guy. I'm always weary of tuck from. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but hey, my God. My God. We got the registered vote. Thank you very much. Please. This is my lady right here.
My vote doesn't count.
Okay, so that's my guy.
Can everybody hear me? All right. Now, what we're here for today is to talk about Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? June 19th, 1865. We're here to talk about that. But I don't think it helps just to give you facts, the dates, the names. What helps is an analysis of Juneteenth. What helps is an analysis of history. So I'm going to help you with the analysis of Juneteenth and what it means to me and what it means to us. Us as Americans, but particularly us as African Americans. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Now, the way I like to instruct is if we're talking about 1865, you have to start at 1760s. You have to start 100 years before any major event in world history, and you'll find it to be true. 100 years before that is something that precipitated the event. So we're going to start 100 years earlier, and we're going to start around 1770s. We're going to talk about the Revolutionary War. What led up to the Revolutionary War is mercantilism. If you've never heard of mercantilism, it's the root of merchandise, which means a merchant, someone selling things. The problem is, America, when its relationship with Britain was taking advantage of America. So when they sent them raw materials, wood, cotton, sugarcane, tobacco, Britain was refining it and sending it back as tables, chairs, cigarettes, powdered cane, and things like that. And they were saying, you're taking advantage of us by taking our raw materials and selling it to us for profit. What is missing in this whole analogy? What is missing in this whole formula? That the slave labor to produce these raw materials are not factored in. They did not care about the raw materials that were produced by slaves, dragging the wood, cutting the trees, dragging them to the coast, growing the cotton. They would take the cotton and sell it back to America as t-shirts, socks, pants. They would take the raw material of tobacco and sell it back as cigarettes. But no mention of the African American experience. So it is cut out of the Revolutionary War, but the Revolutionary War was based on the ability to exploit the African American and still make a profit for it. People always say, oh, you want to colorize all of history, but you can't leave me out of history because the black man and woman are the ones who finance the building of the country. So then the Revolutionary War happened. For America to get the most benefit out of its own materials that was formated by black bodies. 1776, July 4th, Independence Day. For who? For the people making the cotton? For the people picking the tobacco? For the people dragging the trees? No. So when people are confused why some black people don't have 2 Independence Day, we have 1 Juneteenth. That's why. It has nothing to do with us. Nothing. Zero. From 1776 to 1865 is 89 years. Do the math. 89 years. That's 89 years of people being born, people dying, seeing 89 years of celebration of independence, 89 years of seeing that in chains, in oppression, in murder, in rape. 89 years worth. And you want to say, not you, everybody here is, you're all right. Everybody here is all right. But they want to say that we are unpatriotic for not celebrating 4th of July. And I want to say here from the outset of this, I'm not saying black and brown brothers and sisters, white brothers and sisters, I'm not saying to castigate anybody who celebrates 4th of July. That's not what I'm saying. But I want to give you an understanding and an analysis of why Juneteenth is so important to us. We have 2 4th of Julys. We have 2 independence, if you want to do it that way. Some people have 1. So, we here with July 4th, 1776. We're moving on to the War of 1812. In the War of 1812, it was another fight over the ability to profit from the labor of African Americans, but also the ability to expand the nation to stolen lands. So here you have a black and indigenous unity on the War of 1812. Exploitation of the black bodies to make economy and the exploitation of indigenous lands by theft. Remember, when you think about the War of 1812, my brothers and sisters, when you think about the War of 1812, take that opportunity for black and indigenous unity, black and indigenous bonding. We have a history that's in common when it comes to that particular one. As we move forward, we come up to 1861. Black people are still enslaved and the Civil War is going on. And people are afraid of not being able to expand slavery into the newly stolen lands. Another black and indigenous issue, to expand slavery into the newly stolen lands. Not to end slavery, but whether to expand it or not to the newly stolen lands. There were people in the North that didn't want it to expand to the newly stolen lands because in the newly stolen lands, they wouldn't be able to get a job. You can't compete with slave labor in a newly stolen land if you want to protect your family, if you want to provide for your family. You can't compete. So they didn't want it. Not for the righteousness of not enslaving other people. That wasn't the fight. The fight was expansion of slavery. So some people get that wrong. They say that the Civil War was not about slavery. It was not about ending slavery. It was about the expansion of slavery. Abraham Lincoln himself said, if I can restore the Union without freeing any of the slaves, I'll do it. And if I can restore the Union and free all the slaves, I'll do it. What does that mean? I don't care about the slaves. I don't care about black people. I care about restoring the Union. So when we come to the history of Abraham Lincoln and we're not putting him on a pedestal, now you see why. You probably already see why. Everybody here, you guys are all right. You guys are all right. But now you see why. People are confused. They say, oh, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That was 1863. 1863, January 1st, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. What did this piece of paper do? It freed the slaves in the rebellion states. 11 rebellion rebellious states. But the 4 Union states that had slavery were untouched. It was a piece of paper. It made no difference. It freed the slaves, quote unquote, of the territory that he did not control. But the territory that he did control, they remained in slavery. So people come to me and they say, oh, the Emancipation Proclamation, you should have that on your wall. There are too many kids here for me to say what I really feel about that statement. But I say, sit down, let me talk to you. Let me tell you something. So, from 1863 to 1865, when the end of the war, let me please go back to 1863. During that period, in Mexico, the French were trying to come through Mexico and support the South to help them fight the North. The Battle of Pueblo took place on the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo. The 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, all black people should study the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo. I don't mean Drinko de Mayo, I don't mean get crazy de Mayo, I mean Cinco de Mayo, how it affects black people. They were defeated in Mexico by our brown brothers and sisters, so they couldn't, not so that they couldn't help in the Civil War, but in the fact that they didn't help in the Civil War. So Cinco de Mayo is a black holiday. It's a black holiday as well. Black and brown unity. Let me hear it. Black and brown unity. Moving forward, we get to 1865. The war is over now. The Second Battle of Pueblo, it doesn't make a difference because the war is over now. Second Battle of Pueblo was lost. And on the Battle of the Cinco de Mayo, black brothers and sisters here, and everybody here, but black brothers and sisters here, don't let anybody tell you just because they don't celebrate it all over Mexico, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them if it doesn't, but it matters to you, and it should matter to you. So don't let them tell you that. We celebrate our black and brown relationships during Cinco de Mayo. That's what we should be doing during that period. So now we're at 1865. Now we're at 1865. Now we're at 1865. And the black people here in Galveston, Texas, that there was a proclamation in 1863 that they're now free. There were black people that heard about this. We were freeing ourselves before the Emancipation Proclamation. We have nobody to thank for our freedom. We have nobody to thank for our presence here in America. It was against our will. So the only 2 people in this nation, that don't have anybody to thank for being here is the African who was stolen from his lands and the indigenous who had their land stolen. Those are the only 2 people who have nobody to thank for being here. We're here, that's it. And when I say indigenous people, I mean North, South, and Central America. Don't let them break our indigenous brothers and sisters up into Mexico, Guatemala, North, even in Canada. These are all indigenous people. Here in California, in Texas, all of that was Native American land. It was Mexico. Mexicans are Native Americans. So we have to understand it. We have to analyze history. You can't just read facts and get that. You need someone who sits down, analyze, push and pull on history so that we can understand how to relate. So then when somebody comes up to you and talks to you about Juneteenth, what is that Juneteenth? Hopefully we have a better response to what Juneteenth is. Better response to what Juneteenth means, a better response to why we need 2 Independence Days, a better response to why this is going on. This is what we need to be able to articulate our struggle. There's one American culture, but there's many subcultures in America that do not have the same opinion about a single incident in America. We don't all feel the same about Abraham Lincoln. We don't all feel the same about George Washington. We don't all feel the same about FDR. We don't all feel the same. And that needs to be appreciated. Try to call people out as non-patriotic. I'm cool with that. But they try to call you non-patriotic. I served 24 years in the United States Navy, a combat corpsman. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan. In that service that I held, my father was in the service. And people back to the Revolutionary War, black people have served in this country. And what do we get for it? We get shot down on the streets. We get choked on the streets. We get murdered on the streets. That's what we got for it. What do we get for Vietnam? We got beat, hung, lynched. That's what we got for Vietnam. What do we get for World War II? The same. World War I, the same. Vietnam conflict, the same. Civil War, the same. Revolutionary War, the same. War of 1812, the same. So don't talk about who's patriotic. We've been more patriotic and we've been more American than the Americans.
Let's go.
America did not mean America until the 1960s. It didn't even come close to meaning America until the 1960s on the back of black and brown peoples. 1960s, I'm sorry, the Civil Rights Movement. In 1960s, then all the immigrants who come in here on the blood, sweat, and tears of the African American movement benefited from that. So if you're from the Middle East, if you're from somewhere in Europe, if you're somewhere, anywhere in the world, and you come to America, you're benefiting off the blood, sweat, and tears of the African American movement. So don't dissect this movement. Everybody benefits from the upliftment of the lowest denominator. Everybody.
Let them know.
Do not cry out. What about me? Don't cry out. That's a divisive thing that we're going through right now. Yes, Black Lives Matter. We're on the bottom of the scale. We're choked with impunity on the streets. We're killed and we're shot. Yes, Black Lives Matter so that all lives can matter. But realize we're here because Black lives need to matter. We need to matter.
Let them know. Let them know.
So I get really offended. I can see where people coming from, and it's from a bad place when they're saying all lives matter as opposed to Black Lives Matter. If all lives matter, you would be working on the lives of black people. You would shut your mouth about all lives matter and help with the lives of black and brown people. They only hear black. They don't hear the lives matter. So where is that coming from when you focus on the black and replace it with lives? It's something deep that you need to work on. Not you guys. You guys are all right. You guys are all right. Not you, but one needs to work on where does that all that comes in and replace black when we're talking about lives matter. We focus on lives matter. We were so confused when everybody had a problem with the statement Black Lives Matter. So confused. But now we know they had a problem with black, not lives matter. I don't know how much time I got left. I got some minutes. Okay. I didn't prepare to talk that long, but my point is this. 100 years before 1865 is the 1700s. 100 years after 1865 is the 1960s. You see the pattern? What will we do in 2060? What's going to happen? What would it look like? We're here to change that so that when we get to that 100 years, we have a totally different revolution starting with this.
Yes.
I pray that I'm alive in 2060. I guess a lot of us do, right? I pray that I'm alive in 2060, but we need to keep a historical time of day when we're talking about people. When we're talking about people, it's a historical time of day. And we need to make sure that that historical time of day in this culture is something that makes America live up to its promise. It lives up to its promise and expands its promise. Let me correct that. It expands its promise. It lives up to its promise because the promise was only for people of European descent. That was the promise. But we're trying to fight to expand the promise to include black, brown, Asian, whatever you come from. We want to expand the promise. People try to say, oh, well, there is no mention of color. We know what the intent is in the Constitution. We know what the constitutional intent is. So it was designed for white people. That's why I'm always impressed to have white people out here because they are not affected legally if we succeed or fail. But they find the movement in their heart and their soul to stand up for what's right, even in a process that they are not affected negatively by. They're affected by their heart. They're affected by their soul. So they come here, and if they want to say tomorrow that I'm done with this Black Lives Matter stuff, it does not change their life, and they're here anyway. So I talked about black-brown unity. I talked about black and indigenous unity. I want to also talk about black and white unity because we need that. And just, I'll take, if anybody's seen the movie Warriors, it's an older movie. I love the Warriors. But freedom is ours if you can count. If you can count. There are 13% African Americans in this nation. There are over 60% white people in this nation. If you multiply 13%, 4 times, we are still less than every African American man, woman, and child. 4 times, we are still less than the white vote. So we need the white allyship. We need white partnership to make this thing go. And the freedom is in your hands. The freedom that is expressed through the rest of the nation is in your hands. Open your hands and let it go. Open your hands and let it go. You have 60% of the population. So, I don't really know how to close that, you know what I mean? I'm just like, it's just, please understand history and please have a tool to reply to people who try to castigate our movement, try to misunderstand and misrepresent what we're about. Please have this and use this in your tools. And don't believe Brother Yusef. I'm Yusef Miller with the Racial Justice Coalition of San Diego. Look us up online, Facebook, and you can see us and follow us on what we do around San Diego. But don't just believe Brother Yusef. Please look these things up. They're available to you, but your understanding has to be crystal clear. Look up the Revolutionary War, what it was about, 1812, what it was about. Look up these things. When black people do not honor, so to speak, the national anthem in the War of 1812 is when the national anthem was created. It was the Battle of 1812 in Baltimore. Francis T. Scott wrote the national anthem 53 years before African Americans were free from slavery. So you talk about land of the brave, land of the free and home of the brave, land of the free and home of the brave, land of the free. It was such an ironic statement in the song that white people, not black people, white people made fun of that song when it came out. White people. They said land of the free and home of the slave. They replaced brave with slave because it rhymed. So land of the free and home of the slave. 1812, 53 years, while black people are living and dying in oppression and chains. And then they want to say, you don't want to stand for the national anthem. That's not my anthem. Lift every voice and sing is my anthem. And when I say that, please, brothers and sisters, when I say that, brothers and sisters that do stand for the anthem, don't harm them, don't castigate them, cut them out. They might not know. I served 24 years in the United States Navy. A lot of my brothers and sisters died in 24 years in serving the country under that flag. I have to stand. I stand. But I support everybody who takes a knee, and you should take a knee. But I'm not standing for the country. I'm standing for my brothers and sisters who died when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm standing for the brothers and sisters who died in the Civil War, the brothers and sisters who died in Korea and Vietnam, that nobody stood for them. I don't see America when I stand. I see those brothers and sisters who died. So please, I'm not trying to give you ammunition against brothers and sisters. Please don't take that. If you can take anything from what I'm saying, please don't use it as ammunition against brothers and sisters. Try to educate one another. Try to share this information. Thank you. Thank you.
The other couple goals
know,
do our part to help harness
it was better when I was over there because I was on the ground. I'm behind him now, so the sound's worse.
I know myself, I haven't always been as involved as I should have been, as I would have liked to be. I don't have any true feelings or emotions regarding certain events. It's part of my core beliefs, and none of it's changed from the videos I've seen and the approaches and everything. Sort of a breaking point, watching police and next for 9 minutes.
I'm gonna go back over because the wind's blowing like really quick.
Back at the donation table, there's a flyer over there that's got local organizations who've been working in these spaces, working to make real change. The Racial Justice Coalition of San Diego is one of them. They've been working for years to make real change, to protect the citizens of San Diego from, abusive police forces. There's other organizations on there that are working in other spaces. Right now, I think we're gonna have the couple folks from, or 4 actually, from the Youth Mid-City I screwed it up. They'll let you know. They represent Mid-City. They're going to talk about a proposal that's on the ballot in November. It's going to change the way we provide oversight to our police. That I hope everybody here can get on board with and will vote for in November.
A little bit about our organization is Mid-City Can Youth Council joined Women's Occupy San Diego and San Diegans for Justice in 2019 to introduce a ballot proposal that would create an independent community-led commission on police practices in the city of San Diego. We believe San Diego deserves an independent community-led commission to replace the Community Review Board, or CRB, that is currently in place. The new community-led commission that we are advocating for has significant differences from the CRB in place here.
The main differences are that our new community-led commission will be independent from the influence of the mayor and the San Diego Police Department. The current CRB that we have right now, the members and the directors are selected by the mayor. Our new community-led commission will have an independent legal counsel. The current CRB in place right now receives legal counsel from the city attorney, who also defends the city in lawsuits. This is a conflict of interest. Our community-led commission will have the power to investigate and subpoena officers, witnesses, and documents. The current CRB does not have subpoena power. To those of you who might not know what subpoena power means, it's basically a document that requires the recipient to appear in court because they have information that is needed. And lastly, it will have independent investigators. The current CRB right now relies on San Diego Police Department's own internal investigations. The police should not be able to investigate itself. The CRB that we have in place right now has failed our community for too long. We will no longer hold back, and we should continue to fight for systematic changes and reforms.
ask yourself, how can I help or what can I do to help? We ask you that you support the ballot measure on Tuesday, June 23rd. You can do this by joining City Council. You can do this by joining the City Council meeting live stream. Once you are in, you have two options. You can either do a call-in or have a phone testimony. Or you could do a written comment. It would be amazing if all of you guys would do this. Thank you. For more updates, please follow us on Instagram, Mid-City Can Youth Council, or visit our website, midcitycan.org.
Give us that out one more time, please.
For more updates, please follow us on Instagram, Mid-City Can Youth Council, or visit our website, midcitycan.org. Thank you.
I quickly just have a few last words to say. I just want to say thank you to all these beautiful faces, all these beautiful souls out here. We're in this movement together, you know, like I stand with y'all, and we're gonna stand together, and we're not gonna stop until change is made. We're here to make a difference, and we're gonna have that happen because it's been too long. We are tired. Our Black folks' ancestors are tired. It's time, and you know what? We're gonna make a difference, and it's gonna happen, and I believe in this. I believe in this.
And just remember that the fight is not over. We need intergovernmental and societal change in order to make our demands met. So as long as we all keep fighting and we all just don't stop after 1 week of protest or after 2 weeks of protest, we will have our demands met and we will make a change.
Yeah.
MidCityCan.org. And then the Instagram is at MidCityCan Youth Council. Again, this is a movement, not a moment. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Thank you so much.
Is this megaphone better, or was the white one was better? Be careful what you say today. Got you. All right, we're gonna have one more speaker come up from the Oatside Mesa Detention Resistance. As I mentioned, you know, we want to bring together a diverse group of people around some issues I think we can all get behind, and you know, the treatment of people in ICE custody is something I don't think anybody should be proud of. You know, whatever your stance on our borders, and what we're doing to adults, but most importantly children and families is, yeah. I don't need to say anymore. I'll let Stephen come up and say it for me.
Hello? Hello everybody, I'm Steven. I'm from Oatside Mesa Detention Resistance. Thank you all for giving me this space. We were supposed to have 5 of the collective members here, and I was not.
You gotta yell, man. You gotta yell into the thing. You have to yell.
I'm Steven. I'm with Oatside Mesa Detention Resistance. There was originally supposed to be 5 of us. I wasn't supposed to speak, but it sounds like they're having trouble crossing the border. So I'm not sure what they were going to say, so I'm going to do the best I can. Usually how our org works is we don't talk. What we do is we try to help the people inside the detention center organize and amplify their voices So usually we'd have one of them call in right now and have them speak for themselves. But ICE and Core Civic have blocked all of our numbers, and they listen to our calls, so they're actively blocking our numbers, so we can't contact the people inside. And so this is new for us. We haven't talked before in events like this, but as they're being silenced, we have to come out here and amplify what's going on.
Someone should make a high-powered megaphone.
Does this work? Alrighty. So I'm going to read a statement written by our compas inside the detention center. Some of it might be weird for me to be reading, but just know I'm amplifying the voices from inside and I'm reading this for them. Alright. Our struggle is not just for migrants. We want to abolish all repressive structures and systems of oppression. As a migrant abolitionist organization in the borderlands within Kumeyaay territory, also known as San Diego, we are not just in solidarity with our compas inside the detention center. We are people of color, white accompanying compas, anti-capitalists determined to fight the unjust, racist regime of mass incarceration that keeps many detained for profit. We do not separate one cause over another or play an aggressive form of identity politics. We ourselves are among and or walk alongside those affected and fight to dismantle these systems of oppression and the racial identities imposed on us that structure diverse forms of violence and vulnerability to premature death. Our migrant comrades inside the Otay Mesa Detention Center are migrants from all over the world: Somalia, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Haiti, Venezuela, Honduras, Salvador, Mexico, Peru, Ghana, Cameroon. As such, ours is the international struggle against the dehumanization of the prison industrial complex, black communities, people of color, and working for on a global scale. What is happening in the United States today should be understood not just as a call to action, but an imperative to act. We do not come out flying national organizational flags. We stand and walk with our bodies in action because we know that this fight hits us all and that we must be present with our bodies in the streets. We are committed to fighting for the defense of dignified life, like the dignified life of George Floyd, Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, and many more who have lost their lives unjustly at the hands of murderous police. We have a responsibility to visibilize the voices of those detained by ICE and the U.S. Marshals inside the core civic regime, but also visualize the voices of our black siblings being killed by the racist police state. Ours is not a choice to stand for black bodies. It is a recognition that it is an imperative to fight back and proudly proclaim that black lives matter. It is only when we achieve black liberation that true liberation for all our communities can really happen. We are striving to widen the cracks in the walls of capitalism by resisting this repressive regimes. We must bring an end not only to one's oppression, but also to this capitalist system that has profited from the enslavement of our peoples and the continued captivity of all those detained and incarcerated. We are inspired by the decolonial horizon, where we will one day have abolished the police state and institutions of power that maintain it, including the prison industrial complex, where freedom for all detained in prisons and detention centers will reign. We amplify the self-organizations of those inside the Otay Mesa Detention Center, not to speak for them, but lift those voices that are rarely heard. To say the names of those detained, to say the names of those who have died in detention centers during this pandemic due to Otay Mesa Detention Center's negligence. To say the names of those that hunger strike to protest for the right to be seen and treated as human beings. To say the names of those deported and to hear the daily injustices of those marginalized. We will continue to say their names, share their stories, visibilize their struggles, all their names and struggles, from George Floyd to Carlos Escobar Mejia, for a better world that is more humane. As our anarchist people of color comrades remind us, until all prison doors are open and the border comes crashing down, we'll see you on the barricades. And I just want to also make one, if you guys have any spare time, one call of action we're doing right now is we're trying to get as many people as we can to contact Core Civic and try to raise awareness and let them know that people are watching as they try to block us. If you've read anything like in the Union Tribune or anything about what's happening inside the detention center, it 99% likely came from either us or Pueblos Sin Fronteras, and we're both being blocked from contacting the people inside right now. And without us talking to them, the abuses they do inside are ridiculous. I don't know if y'all heard, but they try to, in order for them to get masks, they try to make them sign a waiver saying that Core Civic wasn't liable for any injuries or deaths to them, especially because of COVID-19. They pepper sprayed them right before, because some of them made masks out of clothes during a respiratory pandemic. They also, for about 3 months, fed them 3 times a day bologna sandwiches. We had our compas going into medical, and they were being told they were malnourished. They still didn't change it for months until we got it to national news level. Yeah, it's horrible in there. If you can, follow it on Instagram. We have instructions on what to call, what to say, and hopefully we can start amplifying their voices again and get back in contact with our compas. Thank you. It's we're at a detention resistance.
See what happens when you guys use your voices? You get results. All right, we're gonna have one last real quick statement. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be marching to City Hall to deliver a list of demands. Hopefully some or most of you have seen them. If not, like I mentioned, there's a flyer available on the donations table where there's water and food. I'd encourage you all to grab it. Take a look. There's also a call to action there, things you can do to help make those demands or anything else you think needs to be done a reality, as well as organizations you can join and help participate with who are working every day to make those things a reality. Thank you.
Can you hear me? All right, we're gonna get ready to march. And as said before, we're gonna march from here to City Hall. It's where the decisions are made. That's where the people who need to hear us are. And we're gonna march from here to there. Now, earlier I came up and did one of the kind of impossible feats of talking about 100 years in 5 minutes.
We're gonna march, so let's.
But I'm gonna go from that 100 years to 100 more in 2 minutes. 1 minute. From 1865. The voter rights, citizens' rights, end of slavery happened all in those 1860s, but only on paper. It did not relate and it did not communicate to the actual black body here in America. So in America, immediately after the end of slavery, the Freedmen's Bureau, please look it up, the Freedmen's Bureau tried to offer African Americans education, free health care, free labor rights, all in the 1860s, the Freedmen's Bureau, because those weren't being realized. As we come up through FDR, we start finding that people are now being able to be employed, coming out of the Great Depression. Out of the Great Depression, black people and brown people and people of color were the last ones hired, first ones fired. We're still seeing that here today. We go through FDR, through all the other presidents that try to desegregate the country. Eisenhower, Truman, they all had a part in desegregating the federal workforce, the military, and things of that nature to desegregate on paper, but there's no desegregation in real life. We go from these presidents up to the 1960s, where we had the civil rights movement culminate with Dr. Martin Luther King and others, fighting to make those rights actually tangible to people who live, not just put it on paper. We have to have access to it. So we need access to proper medical care. We need access to proper
Let them know. Let them know. Let them know.
The 13th Amendment, when it abolished physical slavery, it had a clause. Except for people who are incarcerated. Those people incarcerated are still under the slavery system. we have to abolish all of slavery in this nation. So here today in 2020, we gather here in Balboa Park, and we're going to march to say that we understand this history and we want to make a turn for the better for everyone in this nation. We're going to make a stand for this country. We're going to make a stand for ourselves. The country is not this grass. The country is not the trees. The country are the people in it. So we want to make a life for the people in this country.
Let them know.
Can you dig it?
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
All right, people, let's get to our feet and let's march for justice. I think we're going to line up behind the banner. I think the banners are already in the street.
Well, here we go. I love the march. Marching is so fun. God, marching is easily my favorite part of the protest, bro. SDPD over there. Breonna Taylor. Oh man, I'm starting to get chills because this is where it all begins. Waiting for the helicopter to come out now. Huh? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. No, you're good. I'm live streaming on this one. You're good. You're good. Do your thing. I don't know if you guys care, but I've been live streaming the whole thing on YouTube, so I'll have like most of it on there. I know you guys are doing stuff, but just for extra stuff, it's the activated podcast. I don't know, but just yeah. So I don't know if the Lawyers Guild is actually for the protesters, because so we're over the highway right now. the National Lawyers Guild is out here. They're not talking to anybody. I just tried to tell her that, hey, I've got a live stream from start to finish, and she didn't look very happy with me. So I don't know what her deal was, but I understand if they're not talking to any protesters or whatever, but I was just trying to be friendly and let her know. She didn't write anything down when I told her, so I don't know what that was all about. Maybe she thought she could remember, or she didn't care. It's one of those two. Guy is really about it, because that would hurt me. I like her hat. Her hat is legendary. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do something. We are marching to City Hall, and this is gonna go on the news for sure. I'm wondering when they're gonna call the helicopter out, because this is we got a couple. I want to say 2,000 people right now. This is the first time we've marched since Santee. That was the last march. We're in downtown. Downtown scares me because it's the SDPD, man. But from my understanding, they're kind of allowing us to do this. I think they know that we're going to City Hall. So you have two different chants. Bro, I'm really out here, bro, because of Breonna Taylor. That shit pisses me off so bad, man. God, I tear up thinking about it, bro. The Breonna Taylor murders are just so crazy. So sad.
Beautiful.
Bro, I swear, bro. God damn. I guess I'm emotional, man, but it's so powerful.
Fight back! 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 Fight back!
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back!
I don't know, man. Well, there's medics. We have medics. bathroom, but I don't think I don't know if McDonald's would let me. Bro, the Breonna Taylor stuff makes me so mad. God, that shit pisses me off. Hey, bro, y'all have been doing a good job, bro. I've been to a lot of protests and it's a good one, bro. For sure, y'all have been doing well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate it and stuff because sometimes you know what I mean? Sometimes in the beginning people weren't feeling safe, but now it's just like, this is a safe environment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been like awesome to watch, and then every protest I've been to is different, and like this one's already amazing, you know what I mean? So
thank you. We worked harder than we expected.
Well, I saw you guys passing out flyers and stuff too, so.
Hey, we're turning, guys, turning.
But I be watching. You never know.
Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Actually, there is a nurse back there with children. Children here, so this is where it gets really interesting, because you have people. It's a peaceful protest. It's a very safe protest. I haven't seen even SDPD besides at the beginning. So when we're in downtown now. We're in the heart of it, so. My leg is hurting. So there's I swear, bro, I get emotional. It's very emotional. Bro. 3-hour kids. These white people, I don't know if they're enjoying themselves very much. Look, the lady was like, oh. All the scared white people on the side is funny.
I show love, man. It's all love, baby. I'm just trying to live, bro. I'm just trying to breathe.
I don't know if these are medics. Oh ho! Oh ho! These racist cops have got to go. Hey hey! Oh ho! Hey hey! Ho ho! Hey hey! Ho ho! So we do have medics on the side. Thank you, thank you. Wonderful, bro. It's for real emotional, bro. I don't want to hear no one say anything until they come out here. So we're getting close to City Hall. Ho ho! Have got to go. Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go. Hey ho! Oh man, I love marching. Marching is just amazing. Yeah, so. Make sure we got him right there. Punk ass. Punk ass bitch. What is he doing? They don't support the movement because they're not honking. Scared ass. Union Bank. I love this. I love the idea of workers. Most of them. So City Hall is right here. We're coming up on City Hall. Sorry, y'all. Hold up. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. We're coming up on City Hall. So we need to be careful because we're at City Hall. So that's it. I think that on this light, maybe those are the big old smart devices they've been installing. I don't know.
White supremacy, AC, AB. Fuck 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 white supremacy, AB. Fuck white supremacy.
Sorry,
My bad, bro.
What's up, bud?
Okay, okay.
Hey, turn it up.
Check. Anyone hear me? Check. Oh, there we go. Yeah. How's everyone doing today? All right. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day to come out, stand against oppression, stand against our oppressors. Let them know that a disciplined and organized movement is here in San Diego. Make some noise for yourselves for all coming out today. My name is Jose. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation here in San Diego. We're a national political party that has branches in over 100 cities and an organized presence all over the country in all 50 states. We're an organization that stands unambiguously against police brutality and against the terror of the racist state. Woo! Like all of you, I got involved in organizing at a police brutality uprising in my hometown of El Cajon back in 2016. The El Cajon PD brutally murdered Alfred Alongo, a Ugandan refugee, in the parking lot of my dentist office after his sister had called for help. She had called the police, and after an hour, they sent in a disgraced police. Fly any longer, not here on our streets. Yeah. We stand in solidarity with all the survivors of police brutality and the victims who unfortunately didn't survive this fascistic capitalist state. We're here to show that our people are getting organized. Our people are coming together to say no more Breonna Taylors, no more George Floyd, no more Aaliyah Jenkins, no more Earl McNeil. For those that don't know, those are people that were brutally murdered right here. Some of them, Earl McNeil, Aaliyah Jenkins, Alfred Alongo, Sergio Wick, Jonathan Cornell. All lives lost here at the hands of the SDPD or the San Diego Sheriff's Department. What do we say about that? Yeah. That's right.
Defund the police.
Defund the police. But this is what we're here to say. We're here to show that an oriented organization, we have a lot of outrage. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. We're outraged. We're tired of seeing our people die in the streets.
Yeah.
We're tired of seeing our people being told to wait a little bit longer for basic human dignity. We're not waiting any longer. We're taking our dignity back. We're taking these streets. Back in 2016, at a very peaceful protest very much like this, I was jumped by undercover officers with the SDPD. They beat my ass, they took me to Central Jail, they took me into a tiny little room, and illegally took my DNA by force. All for a crime I did not commit, all for I've never been charged, I've never actually been proven of committing any crime. I was arrested for resisting arrest with no other charge. Resisting arrest, but what was my charge to be arrested for in the first place? What we have is a militarized police force, an occupation of our communities, and we're here to say as the PSL that we need community control of our police. We're walking on roads, yes. We're here to fight for our liberation, national liberation. As a political party, we run campaigns. We stand in solidarity with real material reforms that we can win for our people. San Diego just banned the carotid restraint. Was it politicians that actually got that reform, or was it thousands of people in the streets demanding it? What do you think? The people. Yeah. We can't believe that these people who tell us to wait a little longer, to work with the police, their powerful unions, or their toothless administration boards, their oversight boards that have never, ever led to the conviction of a police officer. We can't stand to be misled any longer. So what we're doing is we're coming together. We're coming together from all of our backgrounds. We're coming together with all of our experiences. And we're standing hand in hand with the people of the global south. Enough! The war against our communities here is part of the war that are wars that are being waged across the seas, that are being waged right across the border against our people coming to flee the economic conditions the U.S. has put on the world. Hand in hand with our people all over the world, we're going to fight for liberation here. We're going to free ourselves from an oppressive policing system that profits off off of our misery, that profits off of separating our families, whether they're at the border or in the hood, wherever they are. So this is what we're going to do. Everyone here that came out on a Saturday during this crisis that capitalism, that the system has only exacerbated with its ill preparedness. The COVID crisis, as we all know, is still raging. But where is the preparedness, right? They have plenty of rubber bullets, plenty of tear gas, but not enough preparedness to save our people from police brutality, from disease, from anything. We need an organized and militant response. We need a political party, a revolutionary party that stands for the people's needs, not corporate greed. So I'm here to say,
Let them know. Let them know.
right. I'm here to say, get organized. I'm here to say, stand with the community. Stand with the people who are demanding human dignity, not asking for it, demanding it. Get organized in your neighborhood. Get organized in your churches, in your schools, anywhere and everywhere where people are. And if you want to know more about socialism, come talk to a socialist. We're here. We're not afraid. We're real people. We work. We have families. We don't want to see our people die. We're tired. And we're going to actually do something about it. Arm in arm with our people here. Arm in arm with our communities. We're taking it back street. We're taking it back street by street. So,
Let them know. Let them know.
When the system tells us to get back, what do? We say, we get up and we stand up and we fight back. So this is what I'm going to say. The system says, get back. What do we say in response? Fight back. All right. The system says, get back. We say, the system says, get back. The system says, get back. The system says, get back. That's right. Come talk to an organizer. Come talk to the amazing people that put this on today. Get involved in your neighborhood. Get involved today. And then come listen on the day.
Hey, I just wanted to say two things real quick. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Being quiet for that long seems like a long ass time, right? It seems like a really long time to torture a person. The other thing I wanted to say.
Be louder.
I got you. The other thing I wanted to say is before Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd, he had been in the force for 19 years. He was a training officer. 2 of the officers with him were on their 3rd and 4th day, and he was the person in charge of them. You imagine all the things he did in 19 years.
Shame.
Shame.
Say his name! Say his name!
George Floyd.
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor.
No justice!
No peace.
If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
we don't get it!
Shut it
We
down.
don't get it!
Shut it down.
We don't get it!
Shut it down.
We don't get it!
Shut it down.
Say his name!
George Floyd.
Say her name! These names are shouted all over the world. All over the world. From coast to coast here and all over the world. But we are San Diego. We are San Diego. And in San Diego, there are names that you need to hear. Earl McNeil, say his name! Say his name!
R. McNeil.
Earl McNeil died in National City, our neighborhood. Aaliyah Jenkins, say her name!
Aaliyah
Say
Jenkins.
her name!
Aaliyah Jenkins.
Aaliyah Jenkins lost her life in La Jolla, our neighborhood. In police custody. Alfred Longo, say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Alfred Longo lost his life in alcohol, our neighborhood. Jonathan Cornell, say his name! Say his name!
Joseph Carnell.
Say his name! Jonathan Cornell lost his life in Vista, our neighborhood. Say his name, Sergio Wick, say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Sergio Wick also lost his life, same officer in Vista. get this area from? No, that should have been. So, we have many of names. We have here people shouting out names. We have people here shouting out names. If you have a name here local in San Diego, shout out that name. Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out. We cannot forget San Diego. We've been working on San Diego for years. We've been marching for years. Sometimes we can't get a dozen people out to a protest, but now we have hundreds of people out. I'm not saying. I'm not here to criticize you for not being there in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm not here to criticize you, but I'm saying do not fizzle out in 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Let him know.
We needed you back then, and we need you now. I'm just up here to be brief. I'm Yusef Miller, Racial Justice Coalition. Remember me from back there? I was back there. Remember, I'm just here to say, when we're working on these national names, remember we have local tragedies that we cannot forget. We are not doing our job if we're not fighting for local tragedies. Thank you.
All right, you guys, can you hear me? I'm not very good with this, and everybody keeps complaining when I come on. Obviously, when people die, that's a tragedy.
So it'll be Tasha first.
But the bigger issue is every day, these officers, they can't kill people. They can also come up to you and stop you for no reason and create a reason later. They create criminals every day. Like our PSL speaker mentioned earlier, he was arrested for resisting arrest. That's a civil rights violation. They have to have a reason to stop you. Being arrested for resisting arrest is the definition of a false charge. So don't get too wrapped up. Obviously, when people die, it is an absolute tragedy. But there are people's lives who are destroyed every day in our black and brown communities because they're abused by police. And they slap an officer's hand away one day in frustration that they're being pulled over on the street while walking on the sidewalk for the 6th time in a month. And now they're a criminal. That follows them the rest of their lives. These are the things that keep people down. These are the things we need to take out of police's hands so that people can lift themselves up without having a system on their back pulling them down. Mentioned again earlier, I don't want this, all to be, rah-rah. Everybody should be proud of themselves for being here, for being present, for being a body, for being a voice. But this can't end today. We've got a list of demands we're going to read later, but I wanted to educate you guys on one of them again, which is the Commission on Police Practices, which is going to be on the ballot in November. It's going to change the way we do oversight in San Diego. It's going to take it out of the current commission's hands, which is controlled by the city and the police, and it's going to be a community review board. So we're going to have council come talk to you guys about that. So that you can support it in November, and you can get everybody else to support it in November, and we can make small changes while we're making big changes, while we're working on making big changes.
There's 4 of you.
Okay, so I know some of you guys may have heard the message already, but we really need to drive this home because without passing these policies, without encouraging our city council to pass these policies for us, we're not going to get any change done. So for those of you that have already heard the message So my name is Simone Medina, this is Anna, this is Jackie and Melanie, and we are all part of the Mid-City Can Youth Council. So some background on the organization. Mid-City Can Youth Council joined Women's Occupy San Diego and San Diego for Justice in 2019 to introduce a ballot proposal that would create an independent, community-led commission on police practices in the city of San Diego. We believe that San Diego deserves an independent, community-led commission to replace the Community Review Board. Be louder! We believe that San Diego deserves an independent, community-led commission to replace the Community Review Board on police practices that is currently in place. This new community-led commission that we are advocating for is significantly different from the CRP in place now.
The main differences are that our new community-led commission.
No, you gotta go louder. Hold it close to your mouth. Get really close.
Okay, the main differences are that our new community-led commission will be independent from the influence of the mayor and the San Diego Police Department. The current CRB that we have right now, the members and the directors are selected by the mayor.
Boo.
Our new community-led commission will have independent legal counsel. The current CRB receives legal counsel from the city attorney, who also defends the city in lawsuits. This is a conflict of interest. Our community-led commission will have a power to investigate and subpoena officers, witnesses, and documents. The current CRB does not have subpoena power. To those who might not know what subpoena means, it's basically a document that requires the recipient to appear in court because they might have information that is needed. And lastly, it will have independent investigators. The current CRB relies on San Diego Police Department's own internal investigation. The police should not be able to investigate itself. The CRB that we have in place right now has failed our community for too long. We will no longer hold back, and we should continue to fight for systematic changes and reform. Now you may ask yourself, how can I help or what can I do to help? We ask that you support the ballot measure on Tuesday, June 23rd. You can do this by joining the City Council meeting live stream. Once you are in, you have two options. You can either do a call-in phone testimony or you can submit an e-comment. It would be amazing if most of you guys did this. Thank you. So for anyone that wants to follow us, we have our Instagram, Mid-City Can Youth Council, and if you guys want to follow us on our website, it's midcitycans.org. Thank you. I also just wanted to say thank you everyone for being here. Like I said, when we were over there, beautiful faces, beautiful souls, down to earth, this is the energy that we need. This is what we want. We will make a difference. This is not a moment, this is a movement, so let's keep it going.
And once again, just to drive it home, we're not going to get societal or intergovernmental change if we only protest for 2 weeks. This movement needs to keep going in order for us to actually make our demands met. So once again, please continue to protest, continue to sign petitions, continue to donate to wherever you can, support our local Black and Latino owned businesses, and just keep coming out. Thank you. Remember, we are in this together, we will win this together.
together, the things we wanted to see accomplished with this event, something that everybody could get behind. There's 500,000 people, however many it is here. Not everybody feels the same way. Not everybody wants the police defunded. Not everybody wants the police abolished. But I know everybody here wants change, wants reform. And we thought it was important to come up with things that anybody here could feel like they could get behind. But first, we demand that the mayor, the City Police Officers Association, city council candidates, city attorney candidates publicly endorse the proposed Commission on Police Practices that we've just spoken about. We demand that that same group of people endorse and support the development of a system for public access to police complaint and discipline records. We've gone part of the way on that with SB 1421, which requires records on use of force to be available to the public. But most police officers and most police agencies haven't fully complied with it. So we also demand that every agency in San Diego County fully complies with SB 1421 and releases all records related to police use of force. We demand that all children and individuals in ICE custody or their sub-custodies with for-profit detention facilities they're at be removed from inhumane conditions, reunited with their families, and treated as
let them know.
And finally, we demand that that same group of individuals, the mayoral candidates, the Police Officers Association, the police chief, the city attorney, demand that they support the development of a statewide registry of officers fired for criminal misconduct or offenses. Too often, an officer that abuses someone in San Diego, if he gets fired, can go right up the street to Riverside and do it again for another 5 or 10 years before he gets fired again. Goes up the street again to Orange County. Yep. They bounce around the state and the country because there's no registry of when they've been fired, and commissions and police forces do not do adequate research on the people that they're hiring when they're not coming straight out of the academy. All of those things can be done now or can be moved on now. This is not something that we have to wait for. These are things that our officials can do immediately. Help us do that. Call them, email them, show up to public meetings, make them meet your demands, make them meet our demands, make them responsive to the people that they're supposed to serve. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Tasha Williamson. How are you doing tonight? Look around, look around. This is what America looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We want to stomp out hate. We want to stomp out those people who are anti-justice. We want to stomp out all the things that are hurting people that look like the people around you. Remember the things that they demanded, because there are no more negotiations. We are asking for clergy, leaders, allies. Do not negotiate for us. Do not negotiate with those who are anti-justice, who come to your rooms, your board rooms, your conference rooms, your homes, your churches, and tell you that they want to do the right thing, and then they shoot you when you are in the streets with your hands up. Tell them do not negotiate anymore. There are no more negotiations. Because right now, need to understand that they are killing all of us. Disproportionately people of color. And he was one of us. You need to understand that when people are angry and pissed off and they damage property, it's because you've been damaging so many lives. He said it's the voices of the unheard. And I'ma say it's the first voices of the damn angry. We are angry, we are pissed off, and we have every right to be. And if you don't understand it, that is not my responsibility. America is supposed to be the land of the free. And they have continued to lie to us. Because ain't nothing free here. Nothing. We have not gotten justice. We do not have peace. We work hard. And we still get killed. So I do no longer tell my children and my friends in my community to survive the stop. I teach them about self-defense. Because if you are a police officer and you are good, then we will not have to defend ourselves from you. But if you are wrong, we will save our lives and take yours. So they need to be afraid of us. They need to fear us. Every one of us. When you see somebody pulled over, you need to stop.
Yes.
Because they need to see all of us as one. We need to be one mighty force, one mighty force. And understand, I am not calling for violence. I am about peace. But whatever they bring, we need to bring.
Yes.
Defund the police.
Defund the police. And for people who don't understand what that means, when you were kids growing up, you had consequences. Sometimes you didn't get your toys. Sometimes you didn't get your allowance. So we're telling the police that they're not going to get their toys nor their allowance.
Let them know.
They're consequences killing us.
Let them know.
Destroying us. And if they don't have any consequences, they will continue to do it. And I am telling us to stand up and defend ourselves in America, as Americans and non-Americans, because this is the land of the free, remember? We are free to be human beings. And they do not have the right to take from us what is not their right to take. So defend yourself, because I'm going to defend mine.
Hey, that was hard to follow, man. I'm telling you, man. It's hard to follow. But I love Tasha, man. I'm glad you came out here and speak to you and let you guys know what's going on. You know, we're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on protesting. We're not stopping. I mean, I started in La Mesa. We're here now. We're going to keep on going until we see the change that we see. I'm so proud of every single person that came out here, you know, took the time out of their day to come out and protest with us. So, but I want us to keep this energy. I want us to keep going. I want us to keep fighting. You know, I want us to unity to keep on happening. I want us to talk about the kids in the cages. You know, that's not right. And it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, whatever comes to us, that's not right. So what we must do is come together. Unity 100%. No, I'm black, I got this problem. Or I'm Mexican, I got this problem. Forget all that. Right now we need to come together. Because if we come together, we can get the changes that we see. Straight up, period. That's all we need to do.
Let them know. Let them know. Let them know.
No matter what religion you are,
Let them know.
no matter what your gender is, you know, we want unity, and that's what we're going to keep on fighting for. So we're going to keep protesting. You know, it doesn't even matter. Just keep on looking on IG. We're going to keep on going at it until we get the changes that we want. I love all y'all. Keep on protesting, keep fighting.
Yes, sir. Keep it up.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, for those of you who do not know, you can text your local Congress and senators from the comfort of your own home, right through your phone. So if you guys can all take out your phone for me and just say these few simple numbers, you are going to text 50409. You will text, hold on, let me get that.
50 what?
You will text SE are nationally sponsored, donations only. This is what keeps them up and running. They will send a letter that you personally text to them to your local senators. I have sent mine to 3 local senators in San Diego already. Their names are Senator Feinstein, Senator Harris, and also Representative Peters. My letter was sent to those 3. You can do this from all around the world. You might have to send it in separate text if it's too long. Or if you can't even think about what to write in a letter and you want to add qualified immunity, they have default letters for you. You text them your name and you can sign it. They will sign it for you just electronically, and they will send you an email of exactly what your letter said. You can donate to them and keep on funding this or them, but you guys can't make a difference because states like Colorado have already, through these letters, made impact on ending qualified immunity, abolishing that. If you don't know what that means. And for those of you who might not be familiar with the term qualified immunity, it is the reason that cops can murder people and get away with it. It is the reason why you can try to sue cops and it takes no effect on them because that lawsuit money is just coming out of taxpayers' dollars. Qualified immunity protects people from their crimes and qualified immunity. Because if I kill a black man on the street, you know what? They don't care about me, they don't care about you, but I get to go to jail. They do not. They don't care about black on black crimes, brown on brown crimes. They do not care, but they are protected. So, and qualified immunity. You can do that through your phone. Thank you.
So that bill is called HR 7085. It is in Qualified Immunity Act. So make sure that you understand what it is. It was just introduced to the House of Representatives June 2020. So make sure you are aware because you're going to need to push your legislators to vote positive for that. We're going to end qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is what keeps them from going to jail, keeps them from having civil litigation against them, those things. We want to take their homes and their livelihood when they are destructive to ours. You understand? So end qualified immunity. I also want to tell you guys, as you guys are leaving and walking away, because many times people will leave and they'll go by themselves, make sure you guys stay in groups. Make sure you stay in groups because oftentimes police come by, they pick people up, and other people interact with people that are not with us and not for us. So make sure you stay together at all times when you leave these protests. Because oftentimes we have people that are locked up and nobody knew, or we have people that get injured and nobody knew. All right? So everybody that's in this crowd is not for us. Okay? Not everybody. Understand that you got police in here, you got people that's with us, and you got people that's against us. They are watching us. This is a revolution. This is not a game. In a revolution, we got to be careful. So when you look around you, see who's around you. Because I also might be in the courthouse with you. You understand? Thank you.
Sorry, I was asking the number. It will be 50409. You will be texting SEUDKP. George Zimmerman, who murdered Trayvon Martin in cold blood, holding nothing but iced tea and a bag of Skittles, he is out signing autographs right now. He has fans
Skittles
up to sign their bags of Skittles. He sold his gun he used to murder Trayvon Martin in an auction for a lot of money. This is real. It's systemic. Go uncharged. It's systemic. It's not only systemic, it's encouraged by the system. They don't just get away with it. They're being encouraged to do it. They're being publicized. So please, text those letters, make a difference. You have your voice. Vote, donate, protest, sign petitions, and write those letters to your senators. Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're about to get ready to march again. Let's go.
Hey, bro, you probably got the Gia sign in here, bro. I was like, that's not the spirit, bro. Love it. Love it.
I don't know what homie is it. She's right. You know the piggies in here. Yes, man. They don't even need to be here. Doctors. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Something there was about a month ago. There was some other issues that you went on. I thought, oh, I forgot you had something.
Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Hands up! Don't shoot! 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 We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We won't rest till we have it! We want justice! We have it! Don't shoot.
Just right now, it's like not during the research. No way. West Coast is yeah. Well,
Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now!
George Floyd! George Floyd!
Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Black lives matter! Lives Matter! Black 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 Lives Matter! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Black Lives Matter! 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 Is he wearing a graduation thing or is he a wizard, bro? This guy's my man right here. He's killing the game. Sauce all the way up. Nice. See, this guy's out hustling, getting money. He's just being prepared. That's smart. Shout out Abel's Bail Bonds. Over there. Oh, we see you. Oh, we see you. I'm just saying. No peace. Police. No peace.
Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Fist up, fight back. 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 Fist up. Fist up. Fist up. Fight back. Fist up. Fight back. Fist up. Fight back. Fist up. Fight back. Hands up. Don't shoot. 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 Now what do we say to the people? We're out here wanting to save their lives. What do we say to them? Walk with us. 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 Walk with us.
The stop fucking lying sign is hilarious, man. Cops are pulling up behind us.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! George Floyd! 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 George Floyd!
Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No peace! No peace!
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! No peace!
Can't breathe! The medic gave the gentleman on the side some water. That was very nice of her. I'm gonna have to set this down. George Floyd.
Black lives are under attack. 22. lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our community is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our justice is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Red Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Red Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our city is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our city is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our community is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our justice is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. 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 Louder. Stand up, fight back. Louder. Stand up, fight back. Let me hear you. Stand up, fight back. Let him know. Stand up, fight back. Let him know. Stand up, fight back. Let him know. Stand up, fight back. Fist up. Fist up. Fight back. Fist up. Fight back. Fist up.
Fight back. Fight back. Fight back.
Black lives are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. And our city is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. And our family is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Our homes are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Our friends are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Community is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our dreams are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No racism. Police. 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 No justice. No peace. Police. No justice. No peace.
I am dehydrated. Let me tell you that. I am definitely dehydrated. I could feel it. Oh my god, if I could have one. Can I?
Last one.
Thank you.
All
I appreciate
Take care
it.
of yourself.
I was waiting for water. I gotta go to the bathroom too. I'm about to start a new stream.